Hi everybody, this is Christy from the Be the Light YouTube channel. Today is April the 22nd. It is a 444 gateway, a new moon, and the Lyrid meteor shower. And because of what the 444 gateway represents, which is the spiritual heart, the sacred heart, the soul heart, I am doing this video today. And it is about the thymus gland. There aren't a lot of videos out there that actually speak about the thymus gland. It is the area that is directly above your heart. If you are touching your chest, we have a slight bump that sits there. Mine used to be very, very tender several years ago. And I thought it was as a result of my physical pain. I could barely even touch it. It was just very tender to the touch. And I had to avoid this area when I was fascia blasting. That is exactly where your thymus gland is. It's between your heart and your throat chakra. It is the bridge between the two, the bridge between your actual heart and your voice. When this bridge hasn't been connected, there is no actual flow. And that's something that God showed me yesterday, that I am connecting this flow right now. The connection between the heart and the throat has been bridged, because when we see a bridge, there is a connection from side to side. So you have to have that actual connection from your heart to your throat to be able to actually speak about what your truth is. Your truth is your soul. And this is where your soul comes into, your sacred heart. And it is, again, a part of your heart. It is connection that is actually there within us, within our physical form. But just because the medical community or science doesn't actually see this as a part of your heart or a major organ, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. We have energetic parts of us. A lot of scientists and medical community don't believe in the chakra system. You have to be a holistic or a natural practitioner in order to have this type of idea, or of course be within the other Asian cultures. So early on in my awakening process, the thymus gland came into my awareness, where I began to try to learn about it. There's not much information on this. Some people categorize this area, your spiritual heart, your thymus, your sacred heart, as the 8th chakra, which is your soul seat, the seat of the soul. And some people categorize your 8th chakra as the very next chakra above your crown. So there's a lot of misunderstanding about what it is, but this is something that God has specifically spoken to me about, that I have opened. This is the opening to more than just your higher self. And this is also a place where people seem to think that they are their higher self, which you can be your higher self, but not your spiritual higher self, because there is a difference between using your mind higher self to your soul's higher self. Your mind higher self uses the intellect part of who you are, and the soul higher self uses the energetic part of who you are, the emotions as well, your heart center. And that again becomes a bridge where you eventually open up your thymus gland and you're able to use intellect and logic and combine it with your emotional state, surrounded by love and guidance of all that is. You are now using the energies along with your thoughts, which should be in alignment with the heart center, your sacred heart, your soul. And you've connected the bridge there. Again, when this is not bridged together, you can't go above and beyond that point, which means you can't take in your light body. You can't take in the Christ consciousness. You kind of like stop somewhere. And then some people become a little more egotistical again, because they're here at this level and they're thinking they have gone far and above. And so they're dictating to other people how they should be. So be aware of what your mind is telling you and what you are telling other people, and what your heart is telling you as well. There are a lot of people who are still growing spiritually who are still living in the ego. Don't go above yourself. Stay humble, regardless of where you are. And my videos, the information I put out there is the information that I have been given, mostly for my own journey. But I know that if I'm going through it, it's necessary for me to give you information about it. And that's the only reason why I have this understanding, is because I am personally going through this. It's just like the reason why we have to go through this and experience it ourselves is because Christ did. And we can't actually understand what he went through until we go through it ourselves. And it's not the point of us going through a physical crucifixion in the same activity or the same situation that he did. Ours has to be felt within our physical form inwardly, because Christ was turned into an energetic being, his light source. So symbolically, spiritually, we do that from within as our energetic self in this physical form. And we integrate it inside to the point that it now comes outside of us. You see, our energetic being is inside, which radiates outside of our physical form, which allows us to create or develop, enhance the other layers of our spiritual body. It's layer upon layer upon layer until we take in our full light-bodied self, our Christ light body, and take in that consciousness, the Christ consciousness, which allows us to use the divine mind with a divine heart. So a lot of people say that the thymus gland is a certain color. Some say it's pink, teal, and some say it's white. God has shown me that it is pink, almost a hot pink. And it could be a pale pink, but I think he showed me that it was a hot pink, so I would be able to tell the color apart. Because if it's a light pink, I could confuse it with white. And if it were too dark of a pink, I would confuse it with red. So he made it hot pink so that I could decipher between the colors. And of course, I appreciate that. And so I hope I've given you enough information about it. And there's not, again, a lot of information. Like I said, you can do a lot of research just on the thymus gland. It is important, and it actually goes away as we age. It's all about preserving our youth, our vitality, and our health. It keeps our DNA awakened. But if this dies off at an early age, that's why we age so quickly. That's why our health is so, compromised, because it's not functioning properly. So the only thing that you can really do, because there's not a lot of like frequency videos, there's just a few that I have found, is just your awareness of this chakra. If you were unaware of all the chakra systems anyway, and then you became aware of it and you believed in it, you would begin to activate and open these centers and create balance within it. And the natural flow of what light will do will naturally create the process within you, making you purge out emotions, reflect more. The inner healing work, the shadow work, the dark side of the soul will begin to merge as you open and activate and use the chakras. So your awareness and belief in it will automatically cause it to do this. And the more that you reflect in the emotion of love, the more that these chakras will become online. I like to use the term online with you. So just being aware of where this chakra sits, and then again, it's that little bump that's probably about 3 or 4 inches above your heart, and probably 2 inches below where your throat, your esophagus and things are. And you can just feel this little round bump that's right there. That's where it's at. Visualize this, or just kind of like stimulate it, rub it, hold it, whatever it is. Get the attention right there. And put in your imagination the color pink. And know that this is what you want to do. Ask your higher self. Ask your heart to help you to open this area. But keep in mind, from the time that you have this awareness to the time that it's actually done and complete, is all based upon work. What are you willing to let go of within you in order to have? And it takes time. It is a process, and you cannot, hurry the process. The only thing you can do, the process will go as fast as you want it to go, depending on how much you are letting go. And it could be months, or it can be years. And it's all about whether or not you're willing to surrender or resist. And that goes for every single part and aspect of this journey. Opening your heart is all about surrendering or resisting. Opening your throat is all about surrendering or resisting. Opening up your thymus is all about surrendering or resisting. If you don't believe in it and then don't have the action to follow it and back it up, you can't have it. And the clearing process is the major factor of all of this. Allowing love to decide your daily life is what this is all about. How much love can you receive and give at the same time, while still letting go and dealing with that purging and the resurfacing of those old emotions? It's not easy to do this, but it is so possible. Otherwise, it wouldn't be something that we can have. It's just making the choice to surrender. And you must surrender on a daily basis and continuously. And you will eventually get there. Don't put too much stress on the process. Enjoy every single moment, and know that every time you surrender to love and healing, that you are doing exactly what you need to do. And your heart will always guide you to more. And the more that you allow your heart to lead you, the quicker the process will be, and the greater the reward. This is Christy. Much love, health, and healing your way. I am bringing purpose to your life. Take care.